As we are halfway through the month of January 2025, many people are reflecting on their point in life, their stance in life, and their direction in life, especially with the advancement of generative AI and the economy and many of the other things going on in life. And so in this video, I want to introduce a really interesting and impactful takeaway, as well as philosophy and habit on life from Full Spectrum Thinking, and also Peter Drucker, who was mentioned in this book. I did a little bit of research on it, and I found that this is something great to introduce to all of you in the very beginning of 2025 and beyond as well. So whenever you are watching this video, you can get a lot from this, and I think build upon your life, your skills, and your perspective, as well as your mindset. So Bob Johansen's book, Full Spectrum Thinking, introduced me to Peter Drucker's idea of spending the first half of your life on exploring, building your skills, talking to a bunch of different people, and just building up your network and also your love for learning, exploring many different types of things in your life, professional and also personal, and then spending your second half of your life narrowing your focus on what truly matters to you. I found this takeaway to be probably one of the best takeaways I've read in especially this book right here. And I totally, with my heart, recognize this as one of the ways that I've viewed my life. I spent the first half of my life exploring what I truly love, and now that I'm already 40, I am now narrowing my focus and truly diving deeper into the philosophy of learning and education and how to help people learn better. This, I think, is something that can work for a lot of people, but also may not work for some people to spend half of their life exploring. But I do think that some of these takeaways can truly help everyone, no matter whether you are an explorer or someone who likes to delve deeply into one particular aspect, especially at the different points in your life. The whole idea of Bob Johansen's idea of full spectrum thinking is to think across time frames and disciplines. Over time, this will allow you to see in the long term, see in the broad sense of things, and to be able to plan and organize your skills over time. This idea really relates to Peter Drucker's idea of spending the first half of your life exploring and the second half narrowing your focus on what truly matters to you. And now let's take a quick trip back to my 20s and 30s. When I was in my 20s, I was exploring teaching techniques, and I was gaming and watching a lot of movies, which I still do. And as I got into my 30s, I started to delve a little bit deeper into the learning styles and strategies, and, well, I shouldn't say styles because that is a myth. I'm diving deeper into the ways that we truly learn. And that is something that I truly love. Something that I truly believe is something I will work on for the rest of my life. Which is one of the reasons why I dived into building YouTube videos, And I say building because this is truly a process of building. I love to build upon what I've made before, the videos that I've made before, as well as build upon the knowledge that I've already gained. And doing these YouTube videos has truly helped me to grow as a person and also show everyone one of the best ways to learn: build upon your own knowledge. This aspect of exploration when you're younger, between the time that you're born and the time that you hit 20 or 30, I think this is truly impactful. The reason why this is impactful is because you are so curious at this age. You want to explore and you want to grow, and you want to achieve as well. When you are this age, you are absorbing everything around you. You're learning and you're desiring to be the best person that you can be. And when you're beyond that age, of course, when you're 30, when you're 40, 50, you still want to be the best person that you can be, but you're at an age where you've experienced your youth. You've gone beyond your youth, and now you're realizing that you don't have too much time left in your life. So you need to narrow your focus. This is what I truly believe that this Peter Drucker quote from Full Spectrum Thinking by Bob Johansen is truly about. The fact that life is limited. So you have to spend half of it exploring. Not have to, but it's a general guideline. And then half of it narrowing your focus and building upon that and making a true impact. I mean, heck, if Peter Drucker had not done the things that he had done the way that he did them, then would we know his name? Would we know who he is? No, we wouldn't. That tells you something about the way that he's learning and doing things. That tells you something about him. And the fact that his way of doing things is one of the best ways that you can do things, with adaptations if you have to. It's okay. Go out there and experiment half of your life, and then the second half, double down. So I totally suggest that you reflect on your life so far up to this point, during this video, after this video. Whatever stage in life you are at, reflect on it and see, where do you need to go? What do you need to focus on? Why have you been spending so much time on a particular thing? And then explore where you need to go from there. Do you need to explore a little bit more? Do you need to reach out? Or do you need to focus on one particular aspect? And of course, it doesn't just come down to the things that you do, but it also comes down to the relationships that you make over time. So as I've noticed in the first half of my personal life, I have been living in Indonesia for the past 14 years, so most of my connections I've built up over here, but I still have connections and networks over in the US, and those connections are so valuable because, one, I met them when I was young, in my youth, and we have these memories together that we can always hold on to. So when I go back to the US, I can always draw upon those connections and build better relationships with them. As Peter Drucker said in his books and in his talks, and as Bob Johansen mentioned in his book, Full Spectrum Thinking, these relationships are something that you can build upon over time and use as part of your professional network and also personal network. Relationships are one of the most important things outside of your family, your friends, your close friends, your best friends, your acquaintances. All of these people matter so much. And that's one of the things that I've tried to do over time, is keep in contact with my friends and my network in the US, because that is where I'm from, and that is like where my heart lies. So I need to be able to keep in contact. And when I move back to the US, of course, I will keep in contact with the people here in Indonesia, because you never know where your life is going to go. You never know when you may need help from someone from your past. And therefore, you always need to treat people with the utmost respect. You need to build a genuine connection with them. Because if you treat everyone as acquaintances, you will never be able to draw upon those acquaintances. Yes, maybe, but highly unlikely if you don't treat those people with respect, or you brush them off, or you barely keep in contact with them, and the only time that you contact them is if you need something. This is something that you need to avoid when building your connections and network and friendships. Now let's talk a little bit about building your networks in the 21st century, in 2025 and beyond. It is a quarter the way through the 21st century, believe it or not. And so we have plenty of tools at our fingertips, as well as the genuine face-to-face interactions that we have. So I highly recommend building up your network through face-to-face interactions, workshops, as well as online meetups or groups online. These are going to help you to build up your network genuinely, because over time you may need this network. And I say genuinely because even if you've got 20,000 people in front of you, or online, or wherever it may be, if they don't feel that connection with you, you are going to lose. You are going to lose. You really need genuine connection, and 20,000 people is too much, Drop it down to genuine connections of 50 or less or more, or somewhere around that, under 100, let's say. Genuine connections, people that you know and trust. Build this up through face-to-face or online connections. And last but not least is doing related and unrelated things. Hobbies, things that you're interested in, something that is going to make you feel relaxed and into the moment. One of the things that I noticed through reading a lot and watching a lot about creativity is the fact that many geniuses, so-called geniuses, did things unrelated to their profession or what they were so well known for, like music, for example. Einstein liked to play the violin, and he did this to kind of disconnect, but also connect with his inner genius. He was able to channel his focus while he's playing to create what he created. And there's so many things that we can get from just following our hobbies and our interests. We can get a sense of relaxation. We can get maybe inspiration. And when I say doing related and unrelated things, we can also build upon our skills and make connections that other people wouldn't normally be able to make if they're only focusing on one particular thing. And Peter Drucker believed this was one of the ways to connect with hidden talents, things that you didn't know that you were really good at. By exploring your interests, you can discover something that you didn't know that you were good at. That's the great thing about hobbies. That's why hobbies exist. And as full spectrum thinking suggests, following our interests and our hobbies can also lead us to solve complex problems. Relating this to my own life, I've explored a lot throughout the educational field, but I've also been writing a lot and doing sports, running especially, and this reminds me of Haruki Murakami. He's a novelist, Japanese novelist who's had many works translated from Japanese to English, and he's got this book out called What I Talk About When I Talk About Running, and he relates a lot of his running experiences to his writing experiences. I've done the same thing with my running and writing and education. We can truly learn a lot from our hobbies that we do. Whether that's running, gymnastics, psychology, education, chess playing, billiards, whatever it may be. I'm just throwing out many examples out there. A lot of them were physical, but they could also be mental as well. I encourage you to discover, explore, and see what you truly love and what you can learn from, and try to make those connections. Try to grow from those experiences. Don't just do them because you like them. Don't just play games because you like them. Don't just watch movies because you like them. Watch them, play them, because you know that you can get something from those experiences. So here's a recap from this video. Use the first half of your life to experiment and learn and just grow as a person. Dive into everything that you can. Meet as many people as you can. And grow upon that. Learn what you truly love, what truly matters to you. Then spend the second half of your life diving deeply into what you know matters to you. Of course, in the first half of your life, you're building upon the networks and meeting people. And then the second half of your life, you're still doing that same thing, but you're narrowly focusing on what truly matters to you. And this may change over time. We may have to adapt and grow and learn because of our new technologies that are advancing. AI is a genuinely interesting thing, and I know that this thing will grow. I mean, it's not a fad, you know? Just like when the internet came along, people were thinking, oh, this thing is going to fade out. But I mean, of course, this thing is totally different. So yes, my advice in this video in 2025 may be out of date in 2030 or even before. But genuinely, you need to still, like, we are humans, so we are going to have to make connections with other people. That's a no-brainer. People are always going to be interacting with people. And there are going to be some people out there that are at home all the time and they're not actually interacting face-to-face with other people. But I hope that you're not one of those. And I know that I'm not going to be either. And the last one is to be continuously exploring. Explore the related and unrelated things in your life. These are your habits. These are your things that you're interested in. And I think this creates a whole loop, you know? Like, no matter how old we are, we're always going to be exploring. And that's what makes us progress as humans. That's the amazing capability of us. We have to be grateful that we are human and that we can grow. So I want you to reflect on these takeaways in 2025 and beyond. Take a moment, write 2 things down maybe that you remember from this video, and reflect on those. Implement those in your life. Also focus on reaching out to new people or making new connections, just being aware of the people around you. That way you can build upon your network. And lastly, in 2025 and beyond, do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone. And this could be a hobby, or this could be professionally related, or maybe in your relationship or anything like that. Do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone and build upon that. That could be a project or a business idea, or maybe a club that you want to start. Anything like that that will help you to grow as a person. So now that you've watched this whole video, which of these ideas do you resonate with most? Comment in the comment section what you think. And then also, please do subscribe to this channel, share it with other people so that it can get out to more people, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.